determined if this actually took place before this subway stop several blocks down or what. So, like I said, several blocks open here. There are probably multiple witnesses, but we are pretty far back from anyone who might have actually witnessed anything certainly seen. So there's going to be a lot of witnesses, a lot of video, and that's something that investigators are going to be combing through, in addition to, of course, all the security cameras that are around here, since it is very much a business area as well.
Joseph Giacalone, former NYPD sergeant, we see a lot of what's happening at the scene there. That's the
response. What is your problem with Saul?
Get the wounded to hospitals, you investigate, you try to track the gun, and so on. But the real focus now has to be on finding the suspect. So can you tell us, can you describe what we're not seeing right now that the NYPD is doing to try to track this person down?
Sure. So we have the temporary headquarters vehicles will be pulling up in and around the areas. They're also going to be in constant contact with the real-time crime center as they're downloading the videos from the NYPD cameras and trying to get that information. If the issue comes down to that this person traveled by car, then the license plate readers will be in effect. Or if they see him or her get out of the subway and jump into a ride share or a taxi or something like that, or even get on a bus, once again, license plate readers will play a role in that. So the video surveillance is always what I refer to as one of the forensic horsemen. It's a tool that helps investigators narrow these cases specifically down something like this, where the danger to the community is very high, and they're going to want to capture him as quickly as possible. So these are a lot of different aspects of this. Plus, also, you got to remember, the federal agencies are going to be involved in this, and that's why these temporary headquarters vehicles play an important role. You can take them anywhere. They're with cell phones, computers, printers, you name it, and they have the aspect of being able to control an investigation from just one street corner.
Chief Ramsey, as we mentioned earlier, there are tabletop exercises conducted by police departments across the country. I'm just curious, we're now about an hour into first reports of this shooting, as concerns initially, as they always do, lead to whether or not this is an isolated incident or whether there are more. 1 hour following the attack, thank goodness we have not heard of any subsequent attacks. What does that tell you? That in fact, this is likely an isolated incident?
Well, I mean, the more time passes by, the more likely it is an isolated incident, but you still have to keep your guard up because you just don't know. You have to have an open mind right now about everything, including who the suspect may be. Now, I don't know how they came across this individual with the safety vest and the so forth. That may have come right from video where they actually saw him do the shooting. It could be eyewitness, that people saw something that looked unusual, and that's what they're going on. But you have to have an open mind when you're at this stage of the investigation, because you don't know what direction it's going to go in. You don't want to lock too closely into any one particular thing. But obviously, you're going to have their guard up now to make sure there's no other incidents that occur anywhere else in the transit system or anywhere else within the city. You know, sometimes a part of tabletop, for an example, would be if an incident occurs over here, is that the incident or is it a diversion because of a larger event that's going to take place somewhere else? I mean, all these things are part of what you discuss and what you practice as you go through tabletops. And
we're going to be leaving in a little bit, guys.
In isolation. You have ATF there, you have FBI there, you have Homeland Security, you have all the other partners.
Fox News
in the tabletop.
A lot of capability.
Sir, we want to clarify something. Often the facts change and the story is so early.
Wait until you hear this one. Okay, remember when it all started?
And just a little stuff real quick, guys. The locals didn't do anything about this. If they're not, then we're gonna.
All right, Willie is for Jenna. I know that Jenna ribbed you and was real super mad at you.
She's vicious.
Well, because you went to Ina Garten's house and we
guys don't
begged her for an invite that she basically kind of said, "Well,
you guys are not looking at this breaking news."
Might have been taken by you. Anyway, let's just see how much fun you had.
Oh, it was great.
You guys got some better to do than doing this. Come on, guys. Someone got shot. You guys are taking.
Said he had brought to you. Correct. Okay. And in what month?
The whole climate change because you drill for.
What is she doing on here? Let's be deal.
Yeah.
So you're putting out all these gases.
Oh, more shit when watching this.
It'll affect us. We're eating that fish. All of it.
MSNBC.
It doesn't ever go away.
We'll do a quick look, guys, and we're gonna get off because I'm not doing it.
What are you looking at right now? Well, to build on what you and Frank have just discussed,
13
it's
are
the basic
injured.
police
13
work
firemen
right
were
now that
injured.
Matters. Cameras really come to the forefront because when you can get him in the subway, get the suspect, get his face, like Frank described, get it out to the public. In a case like this,
Fox
you
News.
have to leverage the public.
Was today, and even as we're talking,
CNN.
numbers of people involved.
Than New York City. I'm just curious, across the country, are police stations, our first responders, our mayors now going back and looking at their tabletop exercises and making sure that they themselves are prepared for any sort of attack?
I would absolutely believe that they are. I can recall going to New York on 9/11 to get a package of intelligence that the NYPD would only give if I came in person. And from there, I know Baltimore started to model their anti-terrorism efforts more closely to what New York was doing even back then. So all these years after 9/11, many agencies, just as Chief Ramsey is talking about, do these tabletop exercises where we know when an incident occurs, who's in command, how does the flow of information work, what resources are you bringing to the table? And I know in numerous cities that these efforts are in place and have been
This
in
is
place.
last weekend. This weekend was the weekend of death. Yeah, this crap. What the hell's going on in the world? Seriously.
These efforts being
Has America turned to hell or what?
The NYPD has its own intelligence gathering unit, almost like its own intel agency and control center. I've been to visit it. I mean,
We're leaving there a little bit, guys. This is
counter-terror
ridiculous.
operation there.
We're gonna get some lunch in a little bit.
Barzell, Charles Ramsey, thanks so much. Please stand by. We continue to cover breaking news out of New York as we've been reporting a shooting at a Brooklyn subway station. To date, 13 wounded, at least 5 people shot there. The suspect, who used both a firearm and it's believed a smoke grenade in the course of this attack, still at large. We'll have updates as soon as we come back. Stay with us.
Fox News.
Hey,
We're gonna be leaving soon, guys. This is getting too depressing for me.
You have upwards of probably seating for 50, I would say, just doing the math off the top of my head.
Yeah.
And a maximum capacity car. There's nowhere to go if the doors are closed. And you are trapped. And how many people were in that car is not determined yet. Whether it began on the car itself has not been determined. But if it did, you got nowhere to go.
In addition, Bill, the MTA and the NYPD are trying to remove passengers that are stuck in trains that were approaching that station. Right? So that's another layer of this, and making sure that those people get off safely and they've got their work cut out.
Shut up,
on
Whistle.
that as well.
So with us by phone is Sam Carcamo. Sir, can you hear me? Did I say your name correctly, sir? Okay. All right. Sorry, we just lost the connection with Sam. He found a story online. He's reporting that he saw, Dana, about 6 to 8 critically injured people, and then added he would not be surprised if one of them doesn't make it. So we'll try and get that line reestablished with Sam and get his story.
MSNBC.
Morning commute in South
Sounds like an important.
Okay, guys, if you just joined us, we are behind. We're if right now we're flipping on CBS.
In the subway.
If you're just joining us, we're watching MSNBC, Fox News, and CNN right now. Trying to figure out what's happening out in New York City. There's something about a shooting in a subway in Brooklyn. We're seeing right now is from MSNBC. We are getting it from different networks right now, but we are still trying to figure out what's happening here. It sounds like a shooting happened. I found out this about 10 o'clock when I was doing a video this morning at 10. I found out this was happening. So I was thinking I was going to get some more information about what's happening in Ukraine, but nope, this popped up. So we're doing a little bit of shipping right now to see what the heck's going on right now. Fox News. And I'm trying to make sure we don't get no commercials here, guys, because this is something I usually don't do. But this is actually American news, so that's why.
When they start the press
Fox
conference,
News.
whenever that happens. From the DOJ, our producer Jay Gibson files this. FBI is responding.
Between 5 to 7 have been shot in a Brooklyn subway. And
they confirm again that the suspect is not in custody. Dana.
One thing that was interesting about that video that we showed was I was confused about one thing, and maybe when we get our witness back, it seemed like they were in some ways they were trying to get people back on the train. at one point. You see that in that video, and I'm trying to understand what that would have been. We do have this report. There were 5 to 7 shot at a Brooklyn subway, but we also know that the 13 to 14 were injured. So that is something that we want to try to nail down. NYU Langone has said the 5 patients that were brought to them are stable, which is a good news.
Oh, that certainly is. So here is the news now. If you're just joining us at 10:20 East Coast time here, multiple people have been shot and injured on a subway station in New York City, specifically the borough of Brooklyn, during the morning rush hour that left wounded commuters bleeding on a train platform. AP reports initial reporting that 5 people had been shot. That's according to law enforcement sources. Here's another alert that just ticked in.
Okay, we're getting reports now, guys. I'm getting them fast. I can get them in now. Okay, Fox News. Fox News. We're staying on Fox News until I decide to leave. But this is getting ridiculous, guys. Seriously.
Sunset Park neighborhood around 8:30 a.m. They found at least 13 people injured, but aside from the 5 shot, there were no details on what those injuries entail. According to multiple law enforcement sources briefed on the matter, information preliminary indicated that a suspect fled wearing a construction vest and a gas mask. What images we have
Fox
by
News.
way of iPhone or by way of video, we will share with you when they become available to us. Ted Wheeler back on the phone here. Ted Moore, what more would you add based on Bill Bratton's description?
Well, I thank Bill that Bill has given us a great deal of information that we can use, and that primarily, number one, the suspect himself has staked the area, but that he has confidence that this individual will be caught.
CNN.
But to tell you, Bill, what I see here is a great
No one's
deal.
leaving. Okay, guys, I do know one thing. No one's leaving the state, the city. CNN. We know one thing, guys. He's not leaving. They're not leaving.
Welcome back to CNN here. We continue to cover
CNN,
breaking
guys.
news out of New York. A shooting at a Brooklyn subway station. Just a little over an hour ago, the first reports came out, and the details we have to this point are at least 5 people shot, some 13 injured. We wait for any updates on those numbers. It appears a single gunman wearing a gas mask who also deployed a smoke grenade. Police are investigating during the course of this attack.
So guys, scream is dirty.
Searching for the subject. Bryn Gingras is on the scene there. Bryn, what are you hearing?
Yeah, one of the big things here, Jim, is the fact that the NYPD has said there are no active devices in the subway system at this moment. That's a big thing. That's a big question that people wanted to hear. What was the imminent?
Oh, right into a school too. That sucks. Right into a school.
Let me get out of the way so you can
see school
the
buses.
breadth of this investigation, how big this crime scene is right now. It stretches for several city blocks here in New York City and Brooklyn, and I can tell you there are just loads of.
32nd down to 36 down to 34th.
FBI, the FDNY. We know that at least, and again, those numbers are changing as law enforcement gets more information, but at least 13 people, according to the FDNY, have been sent to area hospitals. It's unclear
North Fire
the
Department,
extent
13.
of those injuries. But again, this is an investigation that is incredibly fluid. We're still waiting to even get a sense of when we are going to get briefed on this. Remember, the mayor typically, Mayor Eric Adams, would be coming here to the scene, starting a press conference with the police commissioner. He has COVID right now, so he's getting updates, we understand, while he is at home. But again, we're just waiting to get more information as we continue to just see more law enforcement come here to the scene and try to piece together exactly what went down, try to talk to witnesses of this, try to get area surveillance cameras and amateur video camera footage to figure out exactly the sequence of events that went down here.
And the pretty much an investigation like this are accounts from eyewitnesses.
It seems like we lost our feed, guys. So it looks like we're done. Sorry, guys. Well, I'll see if we can get back later. I'll see you guys later, guys. I'm going to go get lunch. The commenters, I guess, is just stressful. So see you guys.
Station booth.